Hello guys, it's Paula and I'm here right now to just do something off the cuff. So, no plan, just paper that will go in the Nutcracker book. And a bingo card, some music sheet, part of an old white doily that had a little bit of green on it. And an actual paper doily, a couple buttons, and a butterfly, and some lace, and a word that says inspire, and of course our ink. So we're inking with the Faded Jeans by Tim Holtz for this album. So I have a 4, let me measure again to be completely sure. No, it is a 3.5 by, I think it's 12, 3.5 by 12 piece of paper. Now, I may end up trimming that off. I'm not sure. So we'll see. I'm sorry if you hear the lawnmower outside. Somebody, I guess the neighbors are mowing, or it's our people. And my fingernails, looks like I've painted them partially red, but it's mixed media. I did some mixed media for my my first design team project. So anyway, I'm going to just fold this up. I'm guessing, you know, not a lot. I want the top to fold over longer. So this is going to be a pocket. This is just what I was thinking. I just took scraps that I had, and I think we'll fold it. Let me make sure you guys can see. I'm going to move this bingo card for now. There. I tell you, I think I'm lined up, and then whenever I set in, it seems to be a little different. Okay, so I want something that will fit into the book, and so I just left about a ½ inch here at the bottom, and I am probably just got my big old head in there, and it's just in a ponytail, and it's all wind blown from being outside. I'm gonna round the corners on the flap that goes over the top. Okay, all right. Now, yes, this is lavender and this is blue, but this is how I've been doing it, just barely on the edges. So, you know, it depends. Now, if it's on the lavender, I've been trying to just stay on the edges. If it's on white or lavender, I don't worry about it. But you got to do something to kind of do the corners. I just am a firm believer on that. Now, if I scrapbook, I don't always worry about it, but just a little bit right there and a little bit up here. Okay, so you just want to really score that. Oh, we didn't do the inside. We got to do the inside because this is not double-sided paper. Now, I'm not as concerned about, you know, it being messier on the inside. I kind of like my ink to be messier. Not dark and messy, but like light and just kind of messy. Okay, so we don't need that because we're going to have that part up. So we're done with that for right now. Done with the ink for right now. But I am going to ink this little word, whoops, that says inspired. And now this book is the Nutcracker, and it is Christmas, or what I call pre-Christmas. Christmas to me is Santa Claus and baby Jesus. But so I'm thinking that I might put this doily over the top of this, but I think we'll wait until we know for sure. I think that would look pretty. I know I had more than one button here a minute ago. Just not trying to accuse anybody, if you know what I mean. Somebody black that sits in this basket over here. And her name is Sadie. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm thinking. I'm gonna get some coffee stain paper. So I'm going to cut this coffee stain paper. I mean, you're seeing this very raw, you guys. I mean, I'm going to cut it just like a quarter, 3 1/4, and I'm going to cut it about 4 by 3 1/4. And I hope you guys are having a good day today. I've been just going from one thing to the next today, I feel like. Okay, so I know you can't see this because it's off to the side, but I'm cutting 3 1/4 first. And oh my goodness, that one's not going to work. It's got something on the back. Well, what can I say? Let's try this one. I might be able to get 2 sheets out of this one. I'm getting real close to being ready to just embellish this particular page. Let's see, I already forgot what I told you on the height. Let's see, 4 1/2. And really, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, because you can have your pages be different sizes if you wish, you know. Sometimes I just pull scraps out and not worry about it because, again, it's a junk journal. And you don't want it to be perfect. So I'm going to put like 4 or 5 pieces on here. And I decided it was lots easier for me to do it with just lining it up. Okay. Okay. That should be plenty. Now, you can either staple this, sew this, or glue it. But because we're on video, I'm going to try to get my room set up where I can just turn and stitch. But right now, my camera will not reach that far. So we're just going to staple that and move this out of the way. And hopefully I cut it the right length. No, I didn't. That's okay. We'll just trim it. We'll just trim it down. Let's see. I need to take about 3/4 of an inch off. I'm wanting to put this at the top here. See, when you fold it out. Can you guys see? I'm sorry if you can't. And let me straighten my paper up a little bit on one side. It's kind of wonky. Okay, so I want to put it up here, and then this part will be a tag, and then this part will go down. And maybe, I know that this is blue and the paper is lavender, but maybe, I don't know if this butterfly can go here or not. If it doesn't, we'll just not worry about it. We'll figure out something else. So I'm going to glue the paper down, and then we'll just put a piece of lace or something across it. That's the thing that's cool about junk journals. You can just, you know, you glue and staples and ribbon and, I mean, just a bunch of junk. Okay, so I'm going to bring it up as high as I can on here, and my fingernails look horrible. I do manicure my hands, believe it or not. Even though they're very old and wrinkly. That's one thing I hate about these videos is you look at your hands and you go, oh my word, is that really me? But it is. There's no turning back. Okay, so I have just a piece in my scraps over here of white velvet. Let's just put that across here because I really want to try to keep it flat. And again, there's no plan. So I'm just kind of just picking out of my scraps, like I said. And we'll let it dry. And this will just cover up those staples. We'll let it dry, and then we can trim off the edges. Okay, we'll move back. We'll come back to the top part once that's dried. If I can get this little piece to stay straight. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to move this ink. You should see my desk. Oh my goodness, it looks like somebody has been ill in here. This is how it is whenever I pull everything in the world out to do a video, or I pull everything in the world out to just work on a journal. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on each side to form a pocket. Okay, just like we do with everything. Okay, now I made a tag, and of course, I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. I made a couple tags actually, and so we can decide if either one of them will work. If not, we'll come up with one. But I made a couple tags. One is a flip out, or fold out, I guess, and one it flips over. Let me get it here. And I just inked it, and actually it's the same fabric. I mean the same material. And so we'll see which one fits in here the best once this pocket dries. And if neither one of them do, we'll just come up with a different tag. I know I have a lot of tags, so that's not going to be a problem. And we may want to anyway, because look at this beautiful floral lavender. Oh, I love it. And I haven't done anything with that piece of paper yet. And so, all right, so this is going to be down at some point. Maybe we could put the floral lavender on top and not use the butterfly. We can use the butterfly on something else. I was going to use some of this blue, which I still kind of like, because then we could use the butterfly. It's not really the same blue, but it's close enough. My thing with the butterfly is I don't know if it will attach. Let's just take it off of here and see. You really have to attach them down low, and I think he'll hang off. Now, if we glue this on to the inside of one of the pages, it won't make a difference if he's hanging down like that. Let's do it. And then maybe we can tuck, hopefully it will work, and we can tuck this fold portion under him like this. Okay? All right, but let's go ahead and ink up the blue. I still should have plenty on my ink dauber. I just like to make sure I get the white covered up, and that there's no question about that. Okay, so we're going to, basically we're going to mat this. And maybe we'll put something with, I don't know, something, like I said, there's no plan. I'm not really even thinking about it. I'm just kind of putting it together. I do this a lot of times when I'm making books, and I've made a lot of embellishments, and then I get down and I need a few more. I'll just sit down and start coming up with things. So, okay, so we're just going to center it like you would mat a photo. And let's make sure that's straight. Looks like it's straight enough. Now, I don't know what I'm going to put on there. We still can do this. I have, let me look here in my big pile of stuff. I have some cutout squares. that would work. We could put The Dream would be good for this book. Or This Blessed Life, You've Got This. Hope Lives Here, Cute Smiles. I always think of cute smiles when I think of how the little girls are watching it. Here's one that says hello. Sweet Day. Let's see. Family Time, Our Story. Find Yourself and Be That. Hope Lives Here, Go Wild for a While. I don't think that will work. Let me see if there's any more. I know that I have these by Prima. These are, I think these might be rub-ons, which if they are, either that or stickers. We might not want to use those. No, they're stickers. Okay. All right, so we might put one on. We'll see. Okay. That still didn't answer the question of which one of these we want to put on the front. I like the hello, but it's not really the right lavender. But does it really make that big a deal? Or we could put Celebrate. And this is a bunch of lavender here. Well, you know, we are, it is a celebration of Christmas, so let's just go with Celebrate. Make it easy. You can't sit here and think about it for an hour. We need to make a decision. That's kind of what I've been trying to make myself do. This is so crooked, you guys. I can tell just by looking that I got it a little crooked. Let me see if I can straighten it up. Sometimes when I try to straighten things up, it just looks worse, but that's close enough. So, going to use some ink. And we're just, instead of using the Inspire, we're going to use the Celebrate. And I might just kind of whip some over there. And we're going to put it here on the lower portion. I don't know if I want that or not. In which case, I got to think about how we want to decorate this if I don't use the doily. Which I like the doily. But then we're going to have this big butterfly. And the big butterfly is not the same color as this blue. So I'm questioning myself right now, guys. I'm sorry. This is how I do sometimes. Let me think. I'm looking over here in my stack. Which really there's nothing in the stack that's all that exciting except the ribbons, and we're gonna go with it. Let's go ahead and put this this little guy down. I'm trying to find my other paper that's in this stack somewhere. And there's the well, you know what? Let's just use some music paper underneath it. I don't want to just put it down and not put something under it because it just kind of looks flat to me. So I'm just going to get some vintage music sheet here, and I'm going to make a pretty big mat behind it. And again, you don't have to measure all this stuff unless it bugs you, which would be the old Paula, not the junk journal Paula. I'm trying to get away from that. Okay, so there. Now that might be too big. It is. So we'll take a little bit off. If we take a little bit off of each side, that should be enough. Okay, that might be better. Yes, so let's ink it real quick. The thing that's kind of fun about this book, having the two color schemes of blue and lavender, is like sometimes it looks blue, sometimes it looks lavender. It's so hard to, you know, unless you have something that's very obvious like this blue and lavender. Okay, so we're going to glue this little card to the top of the music sheet. I'm not going to mention the glue today. I'm not going to mention how I hate the glue today. So we're just going to move on. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to add this onto our flip up or flip out or whatever you want to call it. Our embellishment or ephemera or whatever. Okay, now I'm going to put it down here. Now see, just putting that mat on I think made a big difference in how that looked. It just made it pop. And I like that better. Just going to get it straight. Now, I'm thinking, do we just want to put the butterfly there? And maybe put a couple buttons? Whoops. Because I was thinking that we could just put it in, we could maybe put a piece of lace here. Kind of cover the butterfly over the lace, or we can just put a new piece of lace. We'll just see. We'll decide here. We've got a lavender button. Let's do that. I like that. I don't want the butterfly down here. I think it's too big, and I think afterwards we would be like, ugh, I don't like that, you know. So I'm going to get a little bit bigger piece of lace because I've got tons of it over here. Believe it or not, normally I don't have that much of one lace, but when you're getting started, it is, you know, it doesn't take much to use up your lace. And so I've been really having to go to vintage stores and different things to find some old stuff. I remember when I first started doing journals, I had no idea what all was involved in, you know, what you needed to actually do journals. I mean, it takes a lot of vintage things, and not only that, but, you know, it really takes a lot of glue. The glue is a sore spot to me. I'm sorry. All right, so I just put a little bit more there because I thought it needed it. And so the back of this little butterfly did have a little sticker that was probably 100 years old, because this came out of my stash, my little girl stash. Because this little book is it's not just for little girls. I mean, we were all a little girl at one time. But I always think of little girls when I think of the Nutcracker. Okay, so see, I like the way that looks. I hope you do too. Now this will add dimension to your book, but I am working really hard to not overdo dimension in the book so it doesn't bulk it up. So, there we go. Now, I think we're going to make a tag out of, and I'm just going to use this as a template. Let's see if this is going to be the right size though. Yeah, it'll be fine. Can you see that? Sorry guys if you can't. Oh, we got to glue our button on. Hello. Don't forget the little lavender button. Okay. This is all over me. It's like it's having a, I don't know what you call it. Okay, now I've got to wipe my hands off or I'm going to stick to everything. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, we're going to cut out of this lavender floral. We're going to cut this tag out. And I'm just going to use this tag as a guide. I do this a lot. You know, if I decide I want to make a tag, I just do it. Okay, we're just going to cut up one side because I butted it over to the other side. And just cut around it. And before you know it, you have a cute little tag. Okay. Now let's put a hole in the top. And I just kind of hold it up and line it up the best I can. There you have it. Now, since I used that lace, I think I'm going to use it on the tag as well. How about because when we get inside here, let's trim these off. This ribbon is sticking out. When we get inside the flip, or whatever it is, what name should we call it? I don't know. I have the hardest time with that. I usually tell my husband, you come up with a name. So if you see a weird name, it wasn't me. It was him. So I think we need some lace here, but I also want us to have lace on the tag. So, and I like to make tags just very simple because it gives you more room to journal, but especially if you're putting it in something that already has a lot of stuff going on, like this little the outside of this, whatever we're calling it. Okay, so I'm just gluing that down. And now if you wanted to add another piece of that velvet, which I don't even know where I found that, but we could. I'm looking here to see if I've got it close by. I know I do. I just got to dig it out. That's so funny. Oh, there it is. Okay. Got this at Hobby. No, I got it at Joann's for $1. It's a good buy for velvet. See, I'm going to do a little bit of velvet across the top. I think that just kind of dresses it up. You wouldn't believe my scrap room is a mess, and I came in here before I went to bed last night, and I told my husband, I got to go just pick up, or tomorrow my mojo will not be there. All I'll be thinking is, this room is the pits. It's like if you have everything out of order, you don't know where anything is, and then before you know it, all you're doing is looking for stuff. So I'm real good normally to keep things where they belong. You know. Now see, if we didn't have to worry about dimension, we could put that little stone on there, but I think I like the simplicity of this. Now, topper. What are we going to use for a topper? And do we even need a topper? Let me look inside this and see if I have any silver things that you stick on your tags. Yep, there's some silver. So let's put a little silver here because I've been kind of accenting this book with silver. So we'll just flip it over. Oh, before I do the back, I've got to put coffee stained paper back here because I don't like the way that looks. Let me get a piece. I'm real funny about the back of my tags being the right color. I don't like it when they have prints on the back, so I will cover it with coffee stain paper almost always. Not if it's white and it's a heavier card or whatever, I won't worry about it. But if it's not, then it's going to get covered. This is what I'm using. I've been using part of vintage books instead of tea stain paper when I can, if the paper is in really good condition. And when I do and there's a blank sheet, I like the looks of it. So I will do that a lot. And get some of this trash out of our way. Okay, now that's glued down. We'll let this dry while we go back and do our touch-ups on this other part. Okay, now, what are we going to use to hold that down? And do we want a piece of lace right there? Or is that too much? I don't know. I think we don't want the same thing there that we have somewhere else. So we could do a little strip of this. Let me see. Not that. I'm thinking, ladies. Let's see if I want to put anything there. Let's look at these little stickers. Can you see those? Hope that's not too shiny. Let's take them out of the package so it's not hard to... So what I was going to say earlier is I'm not concerned if all of my embellishments are Christmassy for this book, because it's a ballet, you know. And let's see, here's one that says Dreamer. Sing and dance. Of course, they don't sing. Let's have an adventure, cherish together, hope, charisma. Let's see what's on this other side. Beautiful, and it has a little butterfly. That's the winner right there, because it kind of goes with our... Now, do I want it up here or in the center? I'm going to have to kind of get over this, so let me pull it this way, then I'll push it back, because I don't want it completely crooked. Let me look at that. Yeah, I'm looking straight at it, and I'm still getting it a little crooked, so hold on 1 minute. I think that's close enough. Okay, so we'll use that. Easy. Okay, so the inside is pretty much done, right? So, and the outside is done. But I'm thinking, do we need something here to tuck this under? Because it's going to flip out, which means I think what we'll do is just do a circle punch. That's what we'll do. And we'll do it out of this floral. And that will, it will match, but it will also work as a closure for us. Let's ink it real quick. Now, I'm just going to glue it on. You know, I'm going to give it plenty of time. Because there's really nowhere to attach it. So I'm just going to put glue on the lower part of it. Because we want to leave, you know, half of it to catch the top. And my suggestion to you is to leave the top closed when you do this, but be very careful. Let me make sure you guys can see. I've got so much crap on my desk. Okay. Want to make sure you have the right side down. And I don't do this a lot, you know, because I usually stick things in pockets. So I know there's people that do. But see, it does make a difference. It's not flopping out like it was. We just have to give it some time to dry. Okay, so we'll set this over here, and we will move back to our tag, and we're going to trim it out, and then we'll need to ink it. We're going to cut through the coffee stained paper, or the vintage paper in this case, and then we'll ink it. And see, I just love the simplicity of this. Just gives it that elegant little girl, young daughter, or woman. I would love having this book. You know, if as an adult, if I like to journal, that's what I would do. And I do. I don't have as much time to do it, it seems, as I did once upon a time. But I love it. And now I've got to figure out, I'll have to use my crocodile to put a hole in here, because I've got that little sticker on there and it's keeping me from punching, which is weird because it's still the same size. Let me try one more time. No, it's not going to work. It's just a little bit too big. Okay, that's all right. So I'll probably I will either put a little piece of this velvet through here, which I'll show you what that will look like if I can get my hands on it. So I'll put a piece of velvet through here, and then I'll probably pull it up and just kind of glue it like that, you know. And that's going to be our craft for today. That doesn't sound right. Our embellishment for the Nutcracker book for today. And I hope you had fun. I surely did. And I'll see you tomorrow probably. And I'm real close to binding the book. And all the stitching is done, and most of the embellishments are done. And then I'm going to be moving on to my design team project. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that. And thank you, subbies. Bye.